Good day to you all. It is April 5th, episode 95 of All Things with Ian. On today's episode, we got a mixed bag. We're gonna do some updates on some stories, talk about some just different musings. I'm gonna introduce a new recurring sequence called Irate Ian, things that make me angry, and then we'll just kind of wrap it up with something fun. So let's get started. Had a good run today. Got my 11 miles in, so I'm a little frazzled, a little dehydrated. It takes me a while to kind of get back into the swing of things after a long run. But it was a good run. I just went to a local card show with the family. Not a warm day, but it is a day. So anyway, so let's talk about brackets. We had I said that we might get a perfect bracket this year, and lo and behold, we didn't get a perfect bracket, but we did get some incredibly close calls and some very close to home, which goes to show you, listen to me. So where I am in Michigan, we had an 11-year-old, and he apparently had a near perfect bracket. I'm just reading the story now to see how exactly close he was. I think he had 59 out of 60 picks so far or something. So, boom, in my backyard, we have almost a near perfect bracket. It's doable, guys. It's going to happen. We have 4 number 1 seeds in the men's tournament, which we were all told would never happen. But sometimes it does. So this might be the most stacked Final Four ever. We have 2 Final Four games tonight, and then we'll have our championship game. Who knows when? Probably Monday night at like 9:30 p.m. because that's what they do to us. Anyway, though, in the women's side, I was looking at a story. I bookmarked it. I can't find it right now, of course, because we're alive. But another individual, I think a young lady, almost had a perfect bracket too. She just had 1 or 2 picks wrong. So let's just say that Nostradamus would be proud of me, and maybe we'll get a perfect bracket. We were told that we wouldn't, and that was true. We got some close ones, very, very close. And then we also were told it's never going to be the 4 number 1 seeds. They're never going to advance to the men's bracket. Lo and behold, the last 4 teams standing are number 1 seeds. So anyway, that's an update on the March Madness. Let's talk about Alex Ovechkin, the great Ovi. I was just in DC. A lot of energy. Everywhere you go, there's countdowns. Last night, April 4th, he tied the record, 894 games. Crazy stat here. I want to read it to you. Wayne Gretzky, games played, 1,487. Goals, 894. Ovechkin, games played, 1,486. Goals, 894. Incredible stuff. So Ovechkin has he needs to score 1 more goal. He has said publicly he does not want that to be an empty net goal. That is when the opposing team is down and they pull their goalie and there's no goalie. It's an empty net. They still count his goals, but obviously he wants his last goal to be special. Apparently he's also been hoarding, I read somewhere like every puck, every goal he scored, and a bunch of sticks and memorabilia, and he's going to open up a museum to his greatness in Russia. So I don't know if that's true or not, but he's obviously Russian-born. He lived in Russia until he signed with the Capitals 20-odd years ago. Wayne Gretzky was present at last night's game. It was a home game, which is good for the DC crowd. It's good when the former record holder is able to, be humble and genuinely empathize with the fact that his record, which I'm sure is very near and dear to him, will be no longer his to hold. Anyway, I did, like I said, I mentioned a card show. I did get an Alex Ovechkin card. I can't believe I didn't have any in my personal collection. Managed to get one for $1 just because I wanted to be part of it, right? So Ovechkin's going to pass Gretzky. The way things are going in baseball, I mentioned in my baseball episode, for those that have a good memory, that I thought Aaron Judge could possibly challenge Barry Bonds' single-season home run record of 70, and as long as they keep allowing these new torpedo bats, which shifted the weight to the sweet spot, which makes the ball just explode, if you hit that spot, that is, he's on pace for like 307 home runs. So obviously he won't get anywhere close to that. But in terms of big records, that hallowed, asterisk hallowed because of the Barry Bonds and the steroids and the doping, that record could also fall. So those are just some interesting little tidbits, some reoccurring stories. I always read the comments, love the feedback. Keep it coming. So we talked basketball, we talked Ovechkin, we talked a little bit about baseball. All right, new segment, Irate Ian, because why not? Why is coffee served so egregiously warm at restaurants? Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, Big B's here in Michigan. I don't understand why coffee is served that hot. The only reason why I think it would be served that hot is if they think that you're not going to drink it until you get to your destination. Which, okay, that is a reasonable-ish statement. But I make coffee at home all the time. I drink people's coffee at their homes. I use a coffee mate sometimes. I drink that coffee right away pretty much. My body doesn't wait for coffee, so if that's going to be the case, it's going to be hard for me. There is nothing worse than having a burnt tongue for days. It takes days to get rid of that burnt tongue, right? You get it marginally back hour by hour, but you don't really taste anything, and it kind of hurts, and it's crummy. Why is coffee served so freaking hot? Everyone knows the McDonald's saga where the lady basically got third-degree burns. They, I guess, took it down like 20 degrees, but it's still ridiculously hot. No one wants a beverage that warm. You could poll the entirety of the universe. Nobody wants a beverage that hot and then takes a sip immediately and enjoys that flavor or that experience. Nobody, unless their tongue's been so burnt that they have no way of knowing. I think maybe the way that they serve coffee in the larger volumes and the way that they prepare it, it might call for hotter temperatures. I'm not sure. I went to Reddit, but I kind of got bored and just stopped researching it. But the only reason why I think they would serve coffee that hot is if they truly think that a person is going to take 10, 15, 20 minutes to get to where they're going to then start drinking the coffee. But beyond that, is coffee served so warm because of the process of making it? I mean, Starbucks is making coffee. I mean, coffee is made by having ground beans and then water goes through the beans and then you're left with the displacement of the coffee. So I don't really think that the way that they make coffee, whether it's French press or the drip method or commercialization in terms of like the commercial big pots of coffee, I don't understand why it has to come out that warm. I don't think it's a flavor issue. I could be wrong. It bugs me. What really bugs me is that you have that first sip and you kind of go back and you're like, oh, shame on me for not remembering the coffee is so hot. But then you can't taste anything for days and it hurts and it's just kind of a nagging annoyance. So that's my irate Ian. Why is coffee served so hot? Because when you serve it at home or at friends' houses or anywhere else in the history of the world, it's not close to being that hot. You might blow on it for a second or two and then take a mini sip, but you're not going to be like shocked. Like I was shocked at Starbucks. Every time I'm shocked, it's just so freaking hot. So I don't understand. I'm looking for help out there, guys. So that's also a thing. What else is on my list for today on the docket? Give me 1 second. I read an interesting book on the train about the history of hockey. And right now we are in essentially what the people call a 3-2 league. That's the average score in hockey. There's about 5 goals a game. A good team averages about a goal a period. 25 years ago, it was an 8-6, 8-5 league. So scoring has come down dramatically, and there's a bunch of reasons I could go into about that. And there are a bunch of purists who argue that a 1-0 game is good. They're wrong. Goals are fun. Goals are exciting. We just talked about Ovechkin. That's a goal thing, not a lack of goal thing. So what the book suggested, and I'll show you a copy of the book, I'll put it in the show notes, is that just make the goals like an inch bigger on each side, right? We already have these imposing goalies who take up almost all the negative space. There's almost no space to shoot by the goalies. So if we just increase by an inch, it'd be imperceivable for the fans. They wouldn't notice. The goalies themselves would have to change. They would be letting in more goals, right? But it'd be universally more goals. And you probably would get, I think that the book suggested, you might get a goal or two more a game. I mean, 5-3 is a great hockey score. 1-0, 3-2, it's fine. When I see college hockey or pro hockey, I'm always looking for a goal a period. That's just like a good benchmark metric. That means that your team is playing well, they're shooting, there's some action. The goalie will occasionally miss a puck. I like a shutout once in a while, but I want to see goals. I don't think I'm being too shock jock here by saying that I like goals in a sport where the highest score wins. So anyway, just make the nets like an inch bigger on each side. Fans won't notice. The players will love it because they'll be scoring more goals. Everyone loves that. The goalies will gripe a bit, but they'll get used to it. I mean, the goalies can gripe all they want because the pads and the technology and just the size is just gotten huge. The pads are just crazy big. 30 years ago, there were smaller pads. So those goalies didn't complain. I mean, they probably did, but anyway, make the goals a little bigger. So down goes Brown. It was the unauthorized history of the NHL. Really fun little read. Just talked about the expansions and just the star players, and it was a fun little train book. Okay, so I think really that's mostly my stuff. Oh, I went to a Wizards game down there. They're an abysmal team, but I like this Jordan Poole guy. He went to Michigan as well, so cool. JP3 they call him. He shot a lot of 3-pointers. I mean, everyone shoots a lot of 3-pointers. That's a whole different conversation. But anyway, at the card show for 25 cents, I got a nice Jordan Poole card. Pretty slick stuff. Anyway, I also, in the bookshop at the train station waiting for my train, I was looking into some new books to read. And these are the next 3 books I'm going to read, and I'll post these in the show notes. I have a book club book that I'm going to be reading as well. That's a Gentleman in Moscow by Immortals. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong, Sully, but I'll read that as well. There's a book called Martyr, a book called Wandering Stars, and Michael Lewis's Going Infinite, about the Sam Friedman. He's got a hyphenated name. I forget the rest of his name. Anyway, he was the crypto guy. Those are the next 3 books I'm going to read. Martyr, Wandering Stars, and Going Infinite. So I'll post those in the show notes. Sometimes some people suggest, oh, what's a good book to read? We are so blessed with such an amazing plethora of great books that run the gamut from nonfiction to fiction to romance to sci-fi. It's a great time to be a reader. Probably always was a great time to be a reader, but especially with Libby, which is the public library. Fingers crossed that sticks around. You get free ebooks. I mean, you're renting them for a while. That's really elevated my reading game because it's more affordable and I can bring it on my phone. I can have it on the Kindle. It's the best. Anyway, I will post those 3 books I'm going to read next. If there are books that you've read that you love, let me know. And anyway, yeah, so a little bit of mailbag, a little bit of this and that, a little bit of irate Ian. Coffee's too hot. I want to enjoy coffee. I don't want to lose the ability to taste my food for a day because I can't wait 5 minutes. So maybe shame on me. Sorry, I need some more patience. Anyway, get out there, run, move, be active, be good to yourselves, be good to your neighbors, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.